I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Friday to you all. Hope you all had a nice Thursday. I ended up having a good one. So I recorded that NBA video last night. I was 2-0 at the time. I ended up going 5-0 last night. So you'll love to see it. Nice little Thursday 5-0 sweep. Technically, my picks only went 4-0, but this guy Reem comes through again. He sent out probably like 6 p.m. Eastern time. He says, I'm taking Memphis, and that was a game I passed on, and we all tailed him, and it hit. Wild game. They blew a 30-point lead. I'm sure Ski will be here in a second. Chris, how was your day?
It was good, man. Just the one play, which was your New York Knickerbockers, got the job done for me in Detroit yesterday, like we talked about. So yeah, I kind of laid low on OKC because I got the series, and that looks like it's gonna be good. Pretty promising with John Morant not being there. So if they sweep tomorrow, I'll catch a plus 165, and then I got 2 futures on the Clippers as well. So kind of didn't feel the need. Probably should have double dipped in retrospect. Of course, it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback, especially when they win by 30. But yeah, I don't know, Kyle.
That was a
I feel like I'm too hot to be true right now. Like 11-3 since the regular season ended. And I don't know. I just
that won't last. That won't last.
Yeah.
That is not gonna last, bro. You're 11-3 since the regular season ended.
Since the regular season ended, 11-3. I went back and looked at it this morning. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I shouldn't even said it, but
yeah, you just said it, so you're gonna get smoked. You should have said shit, dude. You should have said it. All right, I
was just trying to warn, not betting the games and thinking that I was gonna cool off, but I would have stayed hot yesterday, as you did, 5-0 versus just 1-0. So
Yeah, 5-0 is better than 1-0.
So can Chris go first, so we can fade Chris today?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna pass him the rock right now. So Ski, how about those New York Knicks? How about them?
Yeah,
tenacity.
I should have actually bet him again, but I'm happy for my series bet.
Yeah, well, that was actually the only one of my NBA picks that I bet. The other NBA bet I placed was tailing somebody in the Discord, Reem, because he loved Memphis plus 9.5, and I was like, screw it, let's go. So yeah, it was a good Thursday night. We got a lot to get to, so let's get into it. First is Boston, Orlando. What a weird one to talk about, because now Jaylen Brown is on the injury report as well. Tatum is doubtful. Looks like he's not going to play. You got Drew Holiday. You got Jaylen Brown. I know. Here's the thing with the Celtics. I feel like they're going to score points. I mean, I think the offense is all right, even without those pieces. I know on the road in Orlando. I mean, I just still think they're going to hit some threes. I think Orlando might be able to put together some offense, especially at home with maybe a Boston team that's hobbled, that might be getting caught looking ahead a little bit here. I think I would go right back. This is the only NBA game I didn't bet. But if I was to bet it, I think I would go right back to over at 196, 196.5. I said I was leaning over in the last game, didn't bet it. It went over. I think you got a hobbled Celtics team that might be getting caught looking ahead, missing pieces that are key defensive pieces. I mean, Drew Holiday, that's their pesky perimeter defender right there. He's very important to the defense. And Jason Tatum is also a very underrated defender. People, obviously, when you see his highlights, you see him shooting threes and scoring a bunch of points, but he's a very good defensive piece as well. So I would go over probably if I was to bet this one, but this is the only NBA game I didn't bet. Chris, what do you think?
No. We're not gonna mess up the rotation. Go ahead, Ski.
I appreciate the effort though, Kyle.
I tried.
All right. I'm gonna go. I agree with you. I didn't bet it yet. Been looking at it all day, and what you said about Drew Holiday and Tatum defensively, I agree 100%. The thing is, Drew Holiday's not ruled out yet. But if they are both ruled out, I mean, you get more Pritchard, more Hauser, right? And those guys are going to shoot a lot of threes, and they're not the best defenders. So I think Orlando can take advantage of that. And I still think Boston will be able to score on Orlando's defense the same way they've scored the first 2 games. So at 196.5, I'd have to look that way over.
Yeah, and I agree. I also didn't bet it, like I said. What I was going to do is say, screw it. The last 2 times I passed on an NBA game, I tailed that guy Reem, and it hit. His pick is not in this game. So I can't even tell Reem on this one. I'll tell you which one he picked. He's got a pick for today. Chris, what do you think, Mr. 11-3 in the playoffs?
Hey, come on, Cal. Stop it, bro.
Hey, guys, Chris is 11-3 in the playoffs.
Hey, Cal, stop. No, never saying anything again on this show. I did bet this one. I took Orlando first half plus 2.5. And the reason why is I think I agree with everything you guys said. I think when it's really hard to quantify Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown not playing for Boston. But if you remember back, it was a game where it was played on April the 9th. So earlier this month, the last time that these 2 teams played right before the regular season ended, Orlando needed the game. Boston really didn't. Boston was coming off the overtime game where they had beat the Knicks the night before. Jalen Brunson hit that walk-up 3-pointer with no time left to crush my Boston Celtics -2.5 ticket because they ended up winning by 2. I'll never forget it. But anyway, going back to that game, this was a similar spot where I kind of feel like Orlando was getting up a kind of like a battered Boston team. So when you take out Jason Tatum, you're right, Kyle. The defense gets worse, but I think that's another playmaker in there that commands a double team, and I just think. Then I think when I think about Jaylen Brown, I think about the same thing. You can just go back and look at his stat line without Jason Tatum playing in game 2, and all his numbers went up. Like if you bet his points, rebounds, or assists, I think you cashed. So I kind of feel like Boston is going to struggle to score. We got to remember Orlando. This is one of the better teams in the NBA at home defensively. They finished 10-4 against 10-4 to the under as a home dog this season. And I'm not just going to pencil in points for Orlando because I know that Boston doesn't give up a lot of points in the paint. I know Orlando scored a few in the last game, but I don't think that's going to replicate it. So I look at the trend of home dogs being 93, 52, and 2 against the number in the first half that are down 2-0. I like that. That's 64%. So I kind of lean towards the under. I think Orlando will run Boston off the 3-point line. I think Boston could potentially struggle to score the basketball here. And I expect it to be kind of like a fired up ruckus crowd at the crib. We even saw the Grizzlies play a little bit of defense yesterday, and that was against a red hot OKC team in the first half too. So I like Orlando first half. I would disagree with you guys with the total though. If I was betting it, I think I would go under. I think Boston struggles to score.
You heard it, Mr. 11-3 calling his shots. All right, let's.
You said under, right?
Yeah, Orlando first half and under. And
I bet the first half plus the 2.5. I didn't bet the under though.
I will say if you do like Orlando, home defense this year, their defensive efficiency is 107. That's 3rd in the NBA behind Oklahoma City and the Clippers. So you want to talk about tough defenses to score on at home? It goes Thunder, Clippers, Magic. So this defense is a problem at home, but it is the Celtics.
Potentially no Tatum, no Brown, and no Drew Holiday. Yeah,
they always score. They'll just light it up. Pritchard's he defies everything I know about basketball. Comes in there like how does this dude keep making shots?
Ski, this might be that spot where you go back to your Boston team total under. I know you took it last game and it squeaked over. Boston not gonna shoot that many free throws. I watched you and RC show. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna shoot that many free throws this game.
All right. Pacers on the road in Milwaukee. I do have a bet on this game. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Oh, you know what? I'll go first, man. Y'all gonna stop picking on me, but I did bet this one. The number I got is long gone though. I watched the whole game. I watched all game 2. I watched the thing that I like that Milwaukee did, and we talked about this on the show. I'm 2-1 in this series. I bet the first game I was on the Bucks. They got smoked in that game. And then game 1, I was on Kevin Porter Jr. over his points at 9.5. That was a winner. So I split game 1. Game 2, I came back with a Brook Lopez under. I told you he needed to be sitting right beside Doc on the pond, right? It should be Glenn and then the other coach that used to coach for the what was his name? Ski. They used to coach for us for the Lakers.
Ham sandwich.
Yeah, Ham sandwich. Should be Glenn, Ham, and then Brooke. They should be sitting beside each other on the bench, all coaching. But anyway, what I liked in the game in the second half, Bobby Portis got hot, and I don't even know if he necessarily doesn't get hot if Brooke Lopez comes back into the game. Their defense look a lot better in the second half. I think that you see the desperation here for the Bucks. So I immediately jumped on the Bucks. I figured the line was gonna move in their favor. I got the Bucks minus 148 on the money line when the spread opened at 3. Yeah, this was immediately after the game was over. So yeah, I bet the Bucks on the money line. I like Bucks early as well. Like I said, those home dogs in the desperation spot, especially against a Pacers team that they absolutely hate. I think we see Glenn and Ham Sandwich gonna have to make some adjustments, and I think it starts with putting up more athletic Jericho Sims in the game and getting him a little bit more run. Hopefully, Bobby Portis can stay, hot. To your point, Kyle, I watched your video this morning as well. I do think that we see the Bucks actually win the rebounding battle, and it matters because the Pacers have an offensive rating of 122 and 126 in both games so far, and I don't think that that's sustainable. So yeah, I bet the Bucks on the money line. I also like the Bucks first half minus the 4. Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think the Bucks win this game. So I agree with you there. I think I would have bet it at minus 3 as well. So I agree with your pick. I didn't get it on it early like you did. I personally have this one like 4.5. So I do think the Bucks win. I can't get there with the minus 5.5. I did bet the under though, and I understand why the total is where it is. It's up at 230.5, which is very high for a playoff game, but it makes sense. These two teams, for the most part, have played some high-scoring games this season, but I really expect the Bucks to take a step forward defensively in this one. Like Chris said, the Pacers' offense has looked unstoppable to start this series. I mean, they're averaging 120 points per game. They lead the NBA in the playoffs in assist-to-turnover ratio. This offense just looks so crisp. They're making everything. They have a true shooting percentage of 63%. They just cannot miss. This Pacers offense looks so good. And in my opinion, that's just an impossible level of offensive production to sustain. Now they go on the road where the Bucks defense has been significantly better this year. They've been a much better home defense than a road defense. And B, the Pacers offense has been significantly worse on the road. So you have the Pacers offense operating at a level that I don't think is sustainable. You have the Bucks defense that looks so bad coming back home where they've played better. I just think the pendulum swings on that side of the court. I expect the Pacers to, I don't know about, they're really talented on the offensive side. So I doubt the Pacers have a bad offensive night, but I just think it's a step backwards from the perfect offense we've seen so far this series. And 230.5 is a reflection partially on how good the Pacers offenses look so far. And I just think we're going to see a step back. So I bet the under at 230.5. I also don't mind the Pacers team total under. I think the Bucks are going to continue to win the rebounding battle. But yeah, my bet is the under. I think the Bucks win. Just couldn't get there with the minus 5.5. Ski, Milwaukee?
Yeah, I understand your reasoning and as far as like shooting regression, stuff like that goes. But one thing that's not going to change is the Pacers want to play fast. Whether anything else is happening in the game, they don't have a chance unless they continue to play up tempo. The Bucks also are comfortable playing at a fast pace, and that's one thing I trust to happen throughout the game. Giannis, he's been a matchup problem for the Pacers forever. He can score, get to the basket, get to the free throw line whenever he wants. And then when you factor in, it's the bad blood. Dame is going to show up for this game too. I think the Bucks can really name their number offensively. So if you want to look at Bucks team total, that could be good. But I don't like to count out the Pacers just because, like I said, the way that they play, how fast they like to play, is just difficult to defend. Last year in the playoffs when we saw these two teams play, the first game went under like it did this year. The next 3 went over. I said before the last one, I thought that's how the pattern will go in this series. So I don't see any reason to change it. I like over.
Ooh, we're on opposite sides of this one.
Belt up.
Yeah, belts up on a Bucks Pacers total, the most unexciting belt ever. But I did bet this under. But my favorite, go ahead.
Well, what I was gonna say, Kyle, I was just gonna say to Ski's, to your point, Kyle. I think if you probably looked at this, the thing about the pace that the Pacers have been doing like a lot in this series, their 3-point shots have been falling at a very, very high rate. Like the Pacers finished like they were a bottom 10 3-point shooting team in the NBA as far as frequency goes. All of a sudden, like they can't miss from the 3-point line. So I do think we see a little bit of regression. The game potentially slows down. I'm actually surprised Ski didn't take a first half over, because even if you go back in and kind of cut it in half, the Bucks defense, for whatever reason, in the first half has been a lot worse than the second half in game 1 and game 2. I think the Pacers got to 70 in game 1 before halftime, and then I want to say in game 2 they got to about 70 as well, and then in the third, fourth quarter it slowed down a lot. So I don't know. Ski for the last 5 years. Ski's been betting a lot of first half overs and then getting out the way. I was surprised to hear Ski say full game over here.
So I read something in the Athletic article that the start of all 4 halves have been all Pacers. Like first half of game 1 was 15-8. Second half of game 1 was like 9-2. So every single half, the Pacers have come out hot. Now I don't know if that affects anyone's opinion on the game. I thought it was interesting though. Let's move on to the next one, which is Lakers Timberwolves. Ski, what are your thoughts on your Lake show here?
Well, first of all, I already have the Lakers on the series, so I'll just say that. So it makes it to where I don't really have to bet a side. To see a team come off of a loss and return back home, I don't really like to bet against that in the playoffs, unless I have a really good reason to. I do think the Lakers are the better team, but I think there's some adjustments that Minnesota can make, and this spot just makes me a little bit nervous. Like I don't like the fact that I feel like they're begging me to take the Lakers at +3.5. I hate that. I hate it. So I have no reason to jump back in. I already need them to win the series. The total, though, is a little more interesting to me. We know both teams can play defense like they did in that last game, but in that last game, they both shot really poor. 20% from 3, 21% from 3. I think, we could see both teams shooting a little bit better in that regard. And the total from game 1 has came down, I think, like 7 points, something like that. So I was considering over. I think if I'm betting anything in this game, that's the way that I would look.
Couldn't agree more. I'm on the same thing. I'm on the over as well. And I know it seems crazy to consider an over in this series. These teams have met 6 times. It's gone under the total, all 6. It's 6-0 to the under in Lakers Timberwolves games this year. So why would I bet an over? Well, like Ski said, neither team played well on the offensive side of the ball in game 2. In fact, the Lakers are yet to play a good offensive game in this series. They played poor offensively in game 1, and in game 2, the defense won them that game, not the offense. So the Lakers have not played a good offensive game in this series. They're overdue for one. I think the Lakers figure it out offensively and are able to score efficiently in this one. And Minnesota, great three-point shooting team all year, shot 20% from outside in game 2. I'm sure they bounced back a little bit in that department. The Lakers are not a great three-point defense, haven't been for most of the year. And on top of that, I mentioned how these two teams have stayed under the total all 6 times this year. The totals for those games were like 218, 224, 216, 213, 215, 211. It's never even been close to 205.5. So yeah, they've stayed under the total all 6 times. If you drop those totals to 205.5, 3 of them have actually gone over. So the market is just overplaying their hand here, in my opinion. I would have this one closer to 209, 210. So yeah, I bet the over. Chris?
Yeah, I don't have a future on the Lakers, but similar to what Ski was saying, like I think you mentioned this in your video last night too, Kyle. It's a really difficult game to bet. I thought this series was going to be difficult to bet from a game by game basis in the first place. And then when you have 2 very outlierish type games, with the Lakers playing so poorly on the offensive end, giving up a bunch of transition points, which is something that they typically don't do in game 1. The Lakers bounced back in game 2. The Timberwolves just kind of looked like they were just going through the motions and were happy to steal one in LA. Of course, they're probably going to come out and want to protect home court in this game. So from a side perspective, I have absolutely no idea what to do. What I will say is, I think it is a little bit more of a Timberwolves spot.
Wow.
Teams. So here's the reason why, and it's not like based on any like thing that I saw.
Mr. 11-3 likes the Timberwolves.
Well, if I wanted the Timberwolves, though, well, if I wanted the Timberwolves, I would have wanted to get on an earlier number. This opened at 1.5 in favor of the Timberwolves. It got bet up to 3, so I would have wanted to probably get like a money line because I do think all these points do matter, unless you're the Denver Nuggets and you get blown out by the Clippers. But teams in game 3s where the team previously lost as a dog and now they're a home favorite, they're 72 and 48. 72, 48, and 2 against the spread. That's hitting at about 60%. Says that you typically want to lay it in game 3 with the team that is the home favorite. I'm pretty sure if you add that they're a lower seeded team as well, this probably gets stronger. Like it's probably a stronger trend. So I could see the Timberwolves winning tonight. Lakers taking game 4, and then then it's just a battle of a little 3-game series. So I'm saying that I'm not putting my money on the Timberwolves. I hope the Lakers win because just like Ski, I'm a diehard Laker fan. I don't want to be emotionally and financially invested, so I'll stay on the sideline. As far as the total goes, Kyle, I think I agree with you and Ski. I didn't really have too much thought on the total. I did think that it was a little bit more of a under game, but when I started digging into the numbers, like you said, both teams shooting less than 20% from the 3-point line, both teams shooting less than 45% from the field. I noticed it's the second slowest paced game out of all the series that we've seen so far outside of Boston and Orlando. But I think that we see some positive shooting regression here as well. And like you said, the Lakers are due for a little bit of a better offensive performance, a little bit better than a 106 offensive rating. I think that they can get there, even though these have been 2 really good defensive teams, and they're also bottom 10 in pace since the All-Star break, and I think primarily for the whole season as well. So I'll lean with you, Kyle. Take the over, and that's probably all I would play. Lean Timberwolves too, but I'm not gonna bet them.
All right, time to talk some baseball. Make sure you show these guys some support. Each have their own YouTube channel, Ski Profit, spelled just like that. On the left, that's also his Twitter handle, and same goes for Crispy Cap'n with 2 N's on the right. Make sure you go give those guys a subscribe. Gentlemen, I'm sure I'll talk to you over the weekend. Let's go Knicks. See you guys. I'll probably talk to you guys later tonight.
Let's go Lakers.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Ski.
Good
Best
luck
of
on the
luck,
diamond. Later.
All right, let's bring these baseball dudes on. Toast, straight off of a Tom Segura show last night.
Yeah, that was cool. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's good. I'm not a big fan of Bert Kreischer, which is his like podcast partner or whatever. But Tom Segura is funny, especially his first couple specials were good.
Yeah, my
wait, hold on. Lindy just said something. Let me get him on the screen. You like Bert
say
Kreischer?
that again.
Just we'll keep it off. We'll save that one for another day. We don't have time.
Yeah, that sounds good.
My my wife's best friend was the opener for Tom Segura, so that's why we kind of went. So
okay. Now this game, Phillies Cubs, it's delayed. Should we talk about it, or do you guys want to just skip to the next one?
Pete Crow Armstrong double plus 450.
Pete Crow Armstrong double. Toast, do you have anything in this one? Because
I played the Phillies money line.
Oh, okay. I'll put it
By
up.
the way, that's a quarter unit play for everybody who wants to post records and then realize how dumb they are when I'm up 28 units on the MLB season, because I just want to break everything today, guys. I really do. This guy, he's like, Eric's 56 and 72 on the video. What a loser. I'm betting mostly plus 300 and greater plays in home run streets. Yeah, I'm going to be below 500, dipshit. Like,
a record on home run bets is crazy.
You know what I always say?
Can't stand the human race today. I just can't.
I usually, when somebody
Whoa.
just reply, math is hard.
All right, let's move on to Orioles Tigers, because we weren't. I didn't have that plan to talk
It
about.
got postponed.
Oh, perfect.
Done.
All right.
Just keep it moving.
All right.
2 down.
Baltimore.
2 down. This is going to be the fastest show ever.
This is going great. Yeah, I'm loving this.
Is that the only one that's postponed?
40 minutes.
Is there any more that's postponed that I need to know?
Yeah,
about?
that's the only one
that's the only one.
postponed.
Okay.
We've got yeah, there's turbulent weather there. We have weather in Cleveland as well, so pay attention to that. That's the biggie. Only one that has a chance of having rain in game.
All right, so we got Baltimore on the road to Detroit. Shout out to the O's, came through for me yesterday. It was an ugly one.
This game, we're not talking this game.
We're not?
No, this game's postponed.
I thought you said the Phillies-Cubs was postponed. This one's postponed too?
Phillies-Cubs is delayed. Detroit-Baltimore
Why
postponed.
does it not say that on ESPN?
It is. I promise.
All right.
I don't use ESPN.
Yeah.
Can we get to a game that's being played?
We found it.
I'm trying to find. I have no MLB bets open. I didn't even look. I'm using this show to find something. I'm listening to you guys, and every single game is. All right, Mets on the road in DC. Question 1: are we playing this?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, very much
All
so.
right. All right. Now question 2: Toast. Do you like Kodai Senga to pitch well on the road here against all those lefties in the Nets lineup?
I do not. I played over 8.5 here last night. Obviously, you can see it's at 9.5 right now.
Oh wow.
I think you can still find some 9s out there. Do I think that the Nats are going to light Kodai Senga up? No, but he hasn't. He's put up 3 zeros in a row. So sooner or later, that dam's going to break. And he has struggled a little bit with lefties. I'm not trying to.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. What you're saying is incorrect. It's beyond a lie. Like what you just said is ridiculous. 0.67.
Then tell me how it's not, because he's going to be facing a Nationals lineup that hits very well at home and has a shit ton of lefties in it. And he's faced 3 teams, hasn't given up a run that has no good lefties on it. So please tell me why I'm wrong and how I got almost a run in CLB. Go ahead, tell me.
I'm pulling up 356 Wobo 160.
Can you read off Kodai Senga's?
I'll pull it up.
Can you get a better Wi-Fi connection?
Stats against lefties?
Yeah, I'll pull it up right now. Here we go. 356 Woba 160 whip against lefty from this season.
Okay. How about this year?
That is this year. Let me check to make sure. I'll double check a second.
Okay, there you go.
Lindy's point is in his career, he's been very good against lefties.
7 whip.
Okay, so Toast, basically what we're getting at is Toast thinks Kodai Senga is going to get hit up, and Lindy here counter argument is he doesn't. Right? Am I following?
I'm not saying that he gets hit up to the. I mean, like I just think that it's very possible that he gives up a couple runs here. So if that's getting hit up, then yes, I think that both teams are going to be able to score some runs today. Yes.
What, Lindy? Are you in the under, or are you just like Kodai Senga?
No, I actually leaned towards the over of 8.5 yesterday. I just like to have fun with Toast.
I was going to say, dude, I'm about to lose, but there's no way in hell your fucking stupid computer looked at this game and spit out under. There's no way.
Well, I mean, over 8.5 is obviously a great bet considering it's at 9.5 now.
No, it didn't. It didn't. My stupid computer. That's not very nice. My computer is lovely, and it doesn't really appreciate your hurtful words, actually.
All right, let's.
Kodai Senga though.
Is Lindy glitching?
Over 4.5 strikeouts. If you're looking for like a parlay piece, we just got to move along. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, Lindy, I think, can you leave and come back? You're like glitching. It's like fuzzy and your voice is going in and out.
Is it me? I'll leave and come back.
It's probably OBS Ninja, but all right, let's move on to the next one.
Be the best guess.
Right. Blue Jays. Well, I'm not tailing the over 9.5.
No. And Lindy's right. Me saying he's been struggling against lefties is a little bit of a fallacy because he's been so good against them his whole career, but he also he has struggled a little bit this year so far compared to righties. There's no question about that. And he's going to be facing a whole bunch of lefties with power in this Nats lineup, something that he hasn't had to face his previous 3 games. So true ceasefire with me and Lindy right now.
Toast calls a ceasefire because he admitted that over the course of his career, Kodai Senga has actually been good against lefties. Toast has a cult like following. He doesn't like when you question Toast.
Which is wild because half the time they want me to it's the other way. So
all right. Toronto's on the road in Yankee Stadium. Cookie Carrasco -140 favorites. Man, they must really think Barrios is about to get smacked with this price. Lindy, you think Barrios gets smacked around here?
I hope so. I mean, he's just awful, and I hate his face the same way YouTube chat hates mine. But Carlos Carrasco on the other side sucks too. I mean, Cookie's the guy you really want to go out of your way to target here, and I'm going to do it with a number of different pieces. Already off the bat, Vlad Guerrero Jr., if you get better than plus 425, got a plus 425. I mean, just Yahtzee to go yard, 55.8% hard hit, 497 expected slugging. And then, I mean, it's just fully operational Death Star, I think, for the Yankees lineup on the other side going up against Barrios, 466 expected slugging. I'm not going to play the over. I mean, as you said, this is sitting at 9. You know, obviously that's kind of right where I've got this in the ballpark of. But George Springer, the other homer that I really want everybody to pay attention to. Love. 17-degree launch angle, 52% hard hit. We're looking for barrel percentage. We're looking for guys that just are seeing the ball well. And it seems like George Springer, even with a 24.4% K rate, if you're not creating swing and miss against him, he's taking balls high and far. Carlos Carrasco, 16.7% K rate, 13.2% barrel percentage. Give me Springer Dinger, plus 600. Vlad Guerrero Jr., plus 425. That's where I got both of those.
Your connection's clean, by the way. It's coming through smooth now. The leaving comeback worked. Toast, do you agree with Lindy that Cookie's going to get sparked here?
I'm glad that he was on Vlad. I saw he was on Springer, but I have Vlad in my underdog, so I'm glad that he was on that. I also like Vlad has always hit Belt. We're very, very well in Yankee Stadium, so that's another thing I know. I know Lindy could care less about that.
Lower fences. Like no, it makes sense. Lower fences.
I think Toronto and one other place he's only hit more home runs in than Yankee Stadium. But regardless, I just played Toronto with the price. This isn't me trying to make a case that I think that Barrios is going to deal or anything like this. I actually think you can just make a case that the starting pitching is a wash. Obviously, the Yankees have an advantage offensively, but they are coming home from a road trip. I get that they had a day off, but I do think that Toronto has an advantage in the bullpen, especially with both teams being rested here. So just being late in the game, I think it's a little bit coin flippy, and I know that Toronto hasn't looked good, and no one's going to really want to bet Toronto here. So I took a shot with them at plus 120 for a half a unit.
My model loves the Yankees in the first 5. Likes Carrasco to outpitch Barrios, but
they're both awful.
Yeah,
they're both
I was going to say they're both.
Nothing there. I'm going to find something I like here.
We'll get there.
I will say that the starters that the Blue Jays have faced from the right-hand side has been very, very good. So
we got Red Sox on the road in Cleveland. Tanner Houck making a road start. I am more inclined to trust Tanner Houck. I mean, the farther away he is from Fenway Park, the more I'm inclined to trust him. He's just, his whole career has been unreliable there. Lindy, what are your thoughts on Ben Lively pitching against this Boston lineup?
Ben Lively's not very good. Like Ben Lively's fine. Like, he went overseas, found a little something once upon a time. Really high fly ball rate and giving up power to lefties in a ballpark that's kind of tailor-made, catered to lefties. The only thing that really freaks me out about this game in general is props, but I'm actually worried about. Am I glitchy again? It's
a little bit, but it's coming. It's coming. It's back now. Damn.
Okay. Anyway, just pay attention to the weather. The weather's the big thing here. Otherwise, I'd be like on Will You're a Brave. 1.5 total bases. I would be looking at Jaron Durst in that line, out slightly towards right field. Progressive been playing much better for lefty power over the course of the last 2 years. It's just a pure weather thing for me.
So he broke up for a second, but he said Will You're a Brave over 1.5 total bases is something he would consider. Toast, what do you think?
I played over 8.5 when last night, but obviously it's 9 now with the weather. I don't know if I really like it as much. I thought that I read it was going to clear up a little bit more. I didn't think we were going to have to actually worry about the rain. I thought it was going to die down. But regardless, Lindy touched on it. Lively pretty bad against lefty bats. So Duran, Devers, Abreu, Casas, all those guys with lefties and power. And the same thing goes on the other side with Houck. Really struggled with lefty bats. You're going to see a shit ton of lefty bats in the Cleveland bullpen. Or, I'm sorry, in the Cleveland lineup today. as far as the bullpens are concerned, Boston's ready to go, but I don't really know what to think of them. It's kind of hit or miss with both of these teams. Again, Clase is really not the same. I trust Gaddis and Smith, but everybody else in that Cleveland bullpen is kind of hit or miss for me. And at any point, if they bring in Seawald, anything can go awry. So, like I said, I played over 8.5 last night. I don't really love it with the weather now, to be honest with you guys.
Damn, Toast, you're a sniper today. An over 8.5, that's a 9.5. An over 8.5, that's now a 9. Look at Toast. Sharp alert. I'm trying to pull up Ballpark Pal's not pulling up for some reason. It keeps stuck in this loading loop. You said the weather, wind blowing out?
Yeah, ever so slightly, 6 to 8 miles per hour out to right field.
Oh, that's not much.
Yeah, but it's better than in, I suppose.
Yeah, it's better than in. Nice humidity. Ball should fly a little.
I kind of want to back Cleveland in this one. You mentioned the bullpen. Let me just take a quick look. I have this one at minus 140 for Cleveland.
Yeah, both bullpens are good to go.
Yeah, so I got the bullpen advantage. I mean, Cleveland's at home. The starting pitchers, maybe a slight towards Boston. I'd probably go Cleveland. I'll put up Cleveland money line. I'm considering them.
And if we're, again, it's only 2 games, but against Baltimore and Tampa Bay, Houck didn't look good on the road this year. So, again, very small sample size, but just something to note.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm going to mark Cleveland down as a possible. I don't absolutely love it, but I think Cleveland should be favored by a little more than this. All right, let's move on to the next one. Houston, Kansas City. Seth Lugo as a home dog to Hayden Wesneski. Toast, would you consider the Astros line? Actually, Lindy's connection is clean right now. Let's let him go first.
Oh, God. Yeah, I think I fixed it. I was trying to turn stuff off on the inside house and do whatever.
It's crystal clear now.
Okay, great. Kansas City money line is where I'm at here, and I didn't expect this in a million years because I'm not I'm not a Seth Lugo guy, but Seth Lugo, his main deal is like this year he's just had major issues with lefties. 19.2% home run to fly ball ratio, 2.2 on home runs per 9, walking them at a crazy clip, only 5.31 Ks per 9, low ground ball rate, 36.2%. You know how many lefties there are in the lineup today? Like 1. He's really, really good. But like every time you get Houston with all of these righties rolling out, it's just so hard for me not to try to take a shot on a guy in Seth Lugo. Wind's blowing in here, 10 miles per hour. I really don't trust Wesneski here. And Kansas City's generally the team that I'm like, oh, they don't have the lefties, but you kind of put these guys next to each other. Every single player in the best or in the projected lineup outside of Alvarez is a righty. And then you just go to the other side, Pasquantino, Massey, Drew Waters has actually been hitting okay to start off the season. Kyle Isbell is not my dude, but like, you know, he exists from the left side. Like, I just think that this is a weird spot to be getting a home dog with Lugo. I don't understand the Wesneski love. Getting plus money here was the main attraction, and the lack of lefty power in the Houston lineup outside of Alvarez.
So I think what I like in this one, and this is my first time looking at it, hearing what you were talking about while I'm looking. Oh my God, it's 18.5. Well, here's the problem with Kansas City. The bullpen is taxed to all hell.
Bing, 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 bing.
So I was saying a Seth Lugo over outs because I agree with Lindy. It's a great matchup for him against all those righty bats. Seth Lugo should pitch well. Plus, they can't take him out of the game because who's going to pitch late? Evan Sisk is going to pitch the 8th for Kansas City. So they need Lugo to go 7 in this game. So I was going to take Lugo over outs. It's 18.5 though. Holy shit. It seems like the market's all over that. Toast, you gave me a ding, ding, ding sign. Does that mean you're going Houston?
Yeah, I bet Houston. Houston minus 115 for me. I get what Lindy's what he's saying about the lefties, and there's no lefties in the Houston's lineup. I get that. But I do think that this Houston lineup is starting to heat up a little bit. And considering the fact that they have seen some pretty damn decent right-handed pitching over the last couple of weeks between Francis Bassett, Gosman, Cease, King, Fetty, Gray. I mean, again, I don't think that Lugo should be priced like this. I think the Astros should be like a minus 130 favorite when you factor in these bullpens. The Astros have a full bullpen behind him, behind Wesneski, who, again, I maybe the computers don't like it, but this kid continues to go out there and pitch 5 to 7 innings of 2-run baseball consistently and giving his team a chance to win the game. And I have a Kansas City team that can't hit for anything. I know they put up 6 and 7 in that doubleheader, but who cares what happens in doubleheaders? Previous to that, they hadn't scored more than 4 runs in like 8 games. game. So I'm just not in a position where I'm worried at all about the Royals offense besides Bobby Witt. And I have a bullpen advantage here with the Astros. So yeah, I bet the Astros.
I think I just found my first bet. I more so agree with Lindy, but why am I getting a Royals first 5 money line at -105? Lugo against Wesneski, Lugo against a bunch of righties. I'm staying away from the full game because I'm terrified of that Tags bullpen, but I'm betting this right now. I got a -105. Lugo at home versus Wesneski, Lugo versus a bunch of righties. I'm in there. I'm betting this right now.
Say, I mean, I was able to get +115, so like it's a very different thing at -102 for what it's worth. Just want to throw that out there. And -102, I mean, I'd be kind of more on the pass side of things. So there is that.
First 5 though, you like that, right?
I do like the first 5 there, especially Lugo versus Wesneski. It's just kind of strange to me.
I'm glad that you said that because I was like, in my head, I was like, there's no way he bet Kansas City -102. There's no way.
Well, +115.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
I am in Royals first 5 money line -105. Just bet it. Let me post it to everyone.
A little bit different.
All right. Sorry to hold the show up. Just got to get some bets down. All right, I'm in. Let's move on to the next one. I'm not even going to type it. You all can hear me. Royals first 5 money line -105. Let's move on to the next one. Angels. Hey, shout out Angels. Shout out Halos. Shout out Pirates bullpen. That was awesome. The Angels was money line at -140. It was my biggest bet last night. Tyler Anderson gives up 3 in the first inning.
I was so pissed off when I was walking into that show watching that.
I was pretty confident, or at least I was putting on a brave face for all the people panicking in the Discord. I was like, guys, Pirates bullpen is taxed. Let's keep our cool. And it happened. We came back and won. It was a glorious thing. So what do you think about Kyle Hendricks here, Toast?
I think that the moral of the question is what you're going to get out of Pablo Lopez. Lindy might be better to answer that question for everybody. He's coming back off of a little bit of an injury. There's no chance in hell I would play the Twins here personally. So you can put up the Angels for me. Will I bet it? No. Pablo got absolutely destroyed by this Angels team last year in both starts he faced against them. So I'm just not in a position. I mean, even if he had pitched well, I'm not in a position where I'm going to be laying this juice with the Twins here. So it would be LA or the Angels are pass for me, but I'm not betting this game.
Lindy, what are your thoughts? Pablo Lopez pitches well or not?
Yeah, I mean, his BABIP, I mean, the last couple of years, he's just ran so bad. I don't know what to make of it anymore. I don't think Kyle Hendricks is good. I don't think most people do. I would be inclined to try to take an Angels shot. I also think Pablo Lopez might be giving up more power this season. If he's not going to be striking out batters, I don't know how far he's going to be along for this one. And obviously the Twins a decent enough bullpen. As far as a game environment goes, 55 degrees, pretty muted. Not a ton of interest in really anything, to be honest. Like, I think it kind of be, I don't even want to play everything looks perfectly efficient. So yeah, I'll go Halos money line against my team and simply move along, but nothing appealing here. Outside of maybe a little bit of, no, we're not going to even go that direction. We're just going to avoid it entirely.
I mean,
Luke Keeschel, I mean, he's good.
I'm just putting this up because if you put a gun to my head, I would bet Minnesota -1.5. I am not betting this, and it sounds like all three of us are in the same boat on this one. No go.
I've heard a couple people talk about Travis d'Arnaud. I don't even think he's going to play today, so just going to throw that out there.
Okay, let's move on.
He's not in the lineup.
I didn't think so.
Brew Crew on the road against the Cards. Cardinals -130 favorites here at home. We know in the past, Liberatore has flashed some signs of being a decent starter when he's at home. So he is at home here. You got the Brewers against a lefty, which I'm pretty sure have they struggled against lefties so far this year, right, Toast?
Yeah, they have.
You think Liberatore pitches well?
I do actually. I think that you can trust him to pitch well. I really want to bet. It's more of a fade of the Brewers coming off of that San Francisco series where it was kind of up and down for them. I mean, they got 5 hits off of Robbie Ray. I mean, it wasn't terrible. And they got some off of Jeffrey Springs, and nobody really is touching Skubal. So, I mean, I guess you could make a little bit of a case that the Brewers versus left-handed pitching is coming to life just a little bit. But Liberator's been pretty damn good against some pretty, I mean, not great offenses, Mets, Phillies, Pittsburgh, Angels. So I trust him to pitch well here today. And it's more, for me, it's more of a fade of, I want to bet, I haven't bet it yet, but I was kind of here to see what you guys were thinking. I didn't know that you hadn't looked at it, but I mean, Chad Patrick's been really good. I mean, the numbers versus lefties are really good, but the numbers versus righties are not good at all. You're going to see some pretty decent righties in that lineup. I mean, I get there's multiple lefties in that lineup, but for Milwaukee, I'm sorry, for St. Louis, but I don't know, man. I want to bet St. Louis here, but I don't know if I can lay line 130 with them. I don't know.
Bottom consensus, he doesn't know. Hold on. Lindy's back, by the way. Here we go. Yes, I think. All right, let's see if it stays clear.
Hopefully
it keeps going in and
because
out.
Somebody said, Lindy gave out twins. What?
Hello?
What is going on?
It keeps going. It keeps going in and out.
Hello? Good day.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Dude, I have no clue what's going on anymore. Okay. Yeah. So somebody had put in, Lindy gave out Twins -1.5. Lines move, and also I didn't bet it. Like, it was a lean. I don't understand people today. I literally don't know what to tell you anymore. It's just, I can't help all of you. It's just impossible. I'm on Milwaukee money line. I like the Milwaukee side of things here in this game. It really doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. Liberatore
No, I wanted to hear that.
is not that good, and we have more of a sample size on him than Patrick. I think Patrick's actually going to be a pretty decent little pitcher, Chad. And that's about it. Otherwise, he's pretty good.
Damn it.
23% K rate early on. Like, I think Chad Patrick is the kind of guy that I can back here. We're getting plus money with Milwaukee, a lot of lefties going up against Liberatore. Like, I don't think Liberatore is good whatsoever, so it just comes down to like a little bit of a mismatch there. I gotta go with it. I gotta go Milwaukee.
Really? I might be down to tail you on this. Trevor likes Chad Patrick also, but he's also a Brewers fan, so I can't take anything he says seriously.
He's been really good. To start the year.
Good. And he's got really strong looking numbers against lefty bats.
Yeah.
There's 4 of them in the Cardinals lineup.
And the Cardinals aren't really doing anything versus righties. The only reason that I was even lean Cardinals,
great cutter,
great cutter, and they can't hit the cutter at all. 29th in baseball, I think, as our charts show. But again, the only thing that threw me off with Milwaukee is the bullpen. They all worked yesterday, and they already suck. I don't hate it. I don't have a plan.
What's the Brewers first 5 here? Might be down to go another first 5.
You know what? Brewers first 5s
plus 115. Want to do it?
I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say I think I've only played it like 3 or 4 times. Brewers first 5's been very good to me lately this year.
I just glanced at the comments and I saw someone tell Lindy to close Pornhub. All right, I'm betting Brewers first 5.
Oh,
this
man.
community's fucked up. All right. It was Cincy kid, dude. All right, Brewers first 5 money line plus 115. I am in. Let me send it to everyone. All right, Brewers first 5 money line. I am in. Let me get. All right, let's move on to the next one. I'm sure I don't know what's going on. I don't think we've ever had a problem with Lindy's connection ever. He's been.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's weird.
And it looks like he's home too, so he's not like in a weird environment. I don't know what's going on. And I know it's not on my end because you're coming in crystal clear.
And if anybody's gonna be short, it's my connection.
Exactly. You're the one with the shitty connection.
Yeah,
because you're broadcasting from Siberia. Cincinnati on the road, out in Coors.
This is disgusting. It would be under or pass for me.
A Coors under.
Heavy emphasis on the pass. But I think this game is cheap, or essentially a coin flip price for a reason. Is that both these teams are really not in great spots. I mean, Colorado's coming home from a road trip, like a weird spot where they had to play on the road. I mean, it was only in California. Then they came home for 3 days. Then they fly out to Kansas City, play 3 games. They played a doubleheader yesterday and now have to fly home without any rest and take on Cincinnati, who's in the start of their third series of this road trip. They went to Baltimore, then they went to Miami. Now they're flying all the way across the country. They did have a day off yesterday, but I don't really like the spot for either team. And to be honest with you, I mean, I don't really know what to think of Andrew Abbott. He's kind of one of those another guys that I think a lot of the computer nerds, as I like to say, think that the regression monster is going to come sooner or later, but he continues to pitch well. He definitely has his blow-ups at times, but continues to pitch well. And his 2 starts this year, 1 on the road, 1 at home. Obviously, it's hard to put too much stock into on the road at Baltimore when we know that Baltimore couldn't hit left-handed pitching to save their life, but did pitch well at home against Pittsburgh as well. Both those only 1 run, so 16 strikeouts so far. So I would expect Andrew Abbott to pitch well, especially considering the fact that, I mean, the bottom half of that Rockies lineup, I mean, the whole lineup is bad, but the bottom half with Togula, Amar, and Skunk, or however the hell you say their names, I don't know, they're AAA and AA players. I mean, it's just really, really bad. And then as far as on the other side, Kyle Freeland, hit or miss, but again, he's playing teams like
hit or
Washington.
miss. When's the last time he pitched well?
Washington, San Diego, Milwaukee.
He went 2
on the
innings
road
in Washington.
I'm not saying that he pitched well. I'm just saying, like, I mean, a whole bunch of other lefties. I'm just saying, like, I'm not really worried about this Cincinnati offense. I think that Kyle Freeland should pitch probably just fine. I don't think that Cincinnati is remotely close to Milwaukee and stuff like that. Again, I know that Milwaukee struggles versus left-handed pitching, but again, I didn't bet this game. I'm just telling you, I would play under or pass. I have no interest betting this game.
Yeah, it's a challenging one, like Toe said. And I mean, you look at just the surface level numbers. Andrew Abbott's been absolutely excellent. 2 amazing looking starts. He pitched against Baltimore, who cannot sniff left-handed pitching. They might be the worst lineup in baseball against lefties this year, although they just beat Mackenzie Gore for me last night. Shadow O's. But he pitched against Baltimore and Pittsburgh. That being said, now he's pitching against the Rockies, so who's to say he just doesn't continue dominating bad lineups? He's got excellent numbers against right-handed bats. He's going to be pitching against 8 of them tonight in this Rockies lineup. I don't know where. I guess under, right?
I mean, the Reds look really cheap. I mean, trust me, I'm not. If somebody would say they're betting the Reds, I wouldn't argue with them for 1 second. I mean, you have a huge bullpen advantage as well. Like, I'm not trying to make a case that I'm just saying I think this game's a little bit more of a coin flip in my opinion. So, and I also think that I know if there's anybody in the comments saying that the Reds versus left-handed pitching is getting better, they hit up Povich and Heaney, and that was pretty much it. So, but I think
honestly,
those numbers were
did they really hit up? I mean, and even Heaney, I mean, they scored 4 runs. They only had 5 base runners. Yeah, 5 base runners in 6 innings. So, they didn't even really get to Heaney.
Yeah,
I actually think Rockies might be the play, to be honest.
That's why I'm not on Cincinnati. I just felt like it's too cheap and easy. And again, we're just like in the Miami series. They keep on giving you Cincinnati at this cheap price, and they lose games. They lost 2 out of 3 in Miami, and I think they were minus 120 in almost all those games.
The Rockies have been on the road so much recently. It's the ultimate buy low on the Rockies. Nobody's betting it.
Mm-hmm.
Where can I get this Rockies number right now? Plus 106, plus 105, plus 106.
That's 365 plus 110.
I kind of like that plus 106 with the Rockies, honestly.
Bet 365 plus 110, I think, in New Jersey.
Plus 110?
On 365, I think.
That's what I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Yeah, it would be the ultimate screw the world play, that's for sure.
Lindy is back, and Lindy, the only thing you missed was me and Toast going back and forth on whether or not we believe Andrew Abbott's excellent numbers, or are they fool's gold?
Well, I love him. I love his curveball. Problem is you're at altitude. You're at altitude. I love Andrew Abbott. I always have.
Most computer nerds have. Most of you guys don't. That's why I was so surprised.
Oh, I do. So I think his arm angle and everything you look at on Baseball Savant, it basically echoes Chris Sale. The curveball does. Specifically that pitch. I'm not saying that he's Chris Sale or going to have the ceiling of Chris Sale, but there is definitely something there with that specific pitch. The problem is you get up to altitude, it's so hard to know how it's going to play. The ball doesn't spin as much. You lose some of those RPMs on it, and it starts coming in flat. And even bad hitters will hit well in Coors Field with that type of stuff. So it's such a hard one to get a grasp on. I I'm just kind of getting all of my stuff pulled back up here, but Matt McClain plus 580 to hit a homer up against Kyle Freeland. Freeland's kind of ran pretty unlucky. I ended up getting a really good number here. You can kind of post over on some of the marketplaces and kind of get the numbers that you want, but 580 plus 550, kind of the recurring number that I'm seeing everywhere else in the industry. The guy, I don't care about hot streaks or cold streaks or anything. You kind of just are, over a longer term sample size, going to find spurts where it's there and then spurts where it's not. And I think you got to buy low on a guy like Matt McClain at these kind of numbers. 52.6% hard hit, 18.1 degree launch angle. His big issue is he's been striking out against everybody. And yet again, you go up against a pitcher that doesn't strike out anybody in Kyle Freeland at altitude. I'm definitely going to take this shot just about every single time. Looked at Marte as well. No LV, Marte. Looked at a couple of other guys, but McClain is definitely the premier option for going yard here.
So I did bet the Rockies at plus 110. Just a quick, they look terrible. They've played 10 of their last 13 games on the road. And this is kind of always the case with Colorado. And whenever they play a bunch of road games, the stock for the Rockies completely drops. Everyone's like, this is the worst team in baseball. And then they go back home and you could steal on them a couple times. That's been the case with the Rockies since like forever because the Coors Field and the elevation. So just trying some of that. I don't love it. I'm not saying you should bet it, but I took a stab on the Rockies money line at plus 110. Braves,
don't mind it.
Snakes.
I thought for sure you were going to your boy Gavin Lux, Lindy.
Oh, Gavin Lux. It's nice to see him get like moved
That's
up in
why
the order and
I
find
said,
some confidence. Like I've enjoyed it because, buried to the 8-9 hole as he should be on that iteration of the Dodgers. He just kind of needed to get out. It's so weird because like the guy won AAA Player of the Year twice. Like he's obviously insanely good, but like he just needed a new situation. It really wasn't panning out for him. Started getting the yips at second. I like seeing him succeed for sure.
Yeah.
So, Lindy, we've moved on to Atlanta on the road in the desert here. Your connection's perfect right now, by the way. To give
Good.
you
One-time dealer.
There's nothing that's frustrating when you're trying to like explain analysis or get when it's not working. I feel your pain. It's like
thank you.
I've broken some things in my day.
I came in here in such a good mood too. That was the perfect deal. It was like the perfect storm for me. Well, chat's being lovely.
It's clear and it's not even fuzzy, so we're good. What do you think about? So, all right, if you're a Braves fan, are you panicking about Chris Sale?
No, we're going to bet Chris Sale at these numbers. Like, you just bet Chris Sale. I got him at minus 118. He is currently at minus 130, I believe, is the new number.
When you say you bet Chris Sale, you meant Braves money line, correct?
Braves money line, correct. I'm not a big Braves guy either. I'm pretty down on this baseball team coming into this season. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but we're talking open air Arizona, Chase Field. We're getting the Arizona bats here against Zach Gallen, who I think he's traditionally been one of my guys, but when you start to see it tail off, it will happen in a very fast, hard way. And with a 12.7% barrel percentage, 4.48 expected ERA, 5.60 ERA, if he actually has a walk problem going forward, he is going to be a huge liability for these Arizona Diamondbacks. So like a 10.7% walk rate is the highest he's had since 2019. And when you start to see players lose the command or when they start allowing an extra batter here or there, and then you get high variance baseball because you're giving up power, it creates run chasms, it creates issues. And this is not some 50-50 type coin flip. I still think this is playable at minus 130 here on the Atlanta side. And then overall, you kind of look at the Pens. I think it's pretty equal. I know it's been kind of a weird season starting things out for Atlanta where they can't really get in games early on in some spots. I'm waiting for like the offensive eruption also from Atlanta. I mean, a couple of years ago, we were seeing 12-2, 14-5. Like we would see just Atlanta bats come to fruition. I don't think it's that kind of a lineup anymore, but I don't think that they've fallen off so far that we should be getting this kind of a price in this ballpark, in this situation with Chris Sale on the mound. So I know it hasn't been perfect. I know it's a really, really, really tough spot because I have so much respect for Arizona bats, but this is just a pitching mismatch. And that said, as somebody who's traditionally backed Zach Gallen big time.
I'm agree. I'm going to tell you on this, and I'm sure Toast is about to say this, but in addition to you saying you like Atlanta's advantage in the bullpen, they're also better rested. I mean, Arizona, the last couple of days, their bullpen is used up. They're going to have Justin Martinez. They're not going to have Shelby Miller, probably not going to have Jalen Beeks. Like they just used all their guys in those last couple of games against the Rays. So in addition to Lindy saying he thinks the Braves bullpen is better, it's also significantly more rested. Toast, I'm going to bet this. You have any retorts, Toast?
No, not to the Atlanta side. I do not. I did play the over 8.5 at plus 100. I missed the Atlanta number, but with like Lindy talked about, really good run scoring conditions here today. I think I've been saying for almost a year now that Zach Gallen is terrible, and we're starting to see that come to truly fruition as we see it. I think that Austin Riley could actually hit a home run today. And as far as Chris Sale goes, I don't think that he's as bad as what he has shown. But the fact of the matter is that he's not. Let's just say he pitches well. He's not going deep into this game. And then we're going to see an Atlanta bullpen that has multiple righties. I know they got a couple lefties, but I'm not really in love with those lefties. I mean, I know that Hernandez kid is pitching well, but I just think that there's multiple opportunities for runs here today. I do think that Atlanta is going to do the heavy lifting, that's for sure. But with Arizona at home and an offense that I trust, I since I missed the number with Atlanta, I played over 8.5 at plus 100.
Arizona's numbers against lefties don't look all that great, so
I know. I get it. That's why I said that he hadn't pitched deep into games, and Atlanta has multiple righties in the bullpen.
I'm with you, Lindy. Just bet Braves money line. Let me just post it and we'll move on.
If I would have got the Braves at minus 120-ish, I would have bet them too last. Freaking Tom Segura.
Yep, minus 118.
Blame Segura.
Last night.
Blame Tom.
Oh, he wouldn't let me have my phone.
All right, next up.
You have those little cases. They put the little lock thing on top of.
No, they just had people walking around. I mean, I'm sure I could have took a picture if I really wanted to, but I was trying to be respectful, you know. Tried it out. Wasn't that great.
Yeah.
All right. Marlins on the road in Seattle. Minus 286.
Yeah, it's up to 300 plus in most books.
I mean, Lindy.
No,
Lindy has a home run in this one. Let's give him the rock.
Yeah. There's a couple of interesting plays here. If we're being honest, let's just take a look at Rowdy Tellez. I mean, this guy is fun in general. Like, Cal Quantrill is terrible. No, horrible, no good, very bad. Is my connection awful?
It's bad.
I just
it's
keep watching it go away. Rowdy Tellez. What is happening?
It's going in and out. I can hear you a little bit. The cameras.
No.
You there?
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Rowdy Tellez.
All right, so he is Rowdy Tellez home run. Hopefully, you can figure it out. Toast, what are your thoughts on this one?
Miami money line.
What the hell's wrong with you, dude? Get help.
Okay. First of all,
the first game of a series.
First of all,
across the country.
Oh, really? Where did Seattle play yesterday?
This is where they live, bro. Miami doesn't come out here. They're in South Beach. Fly up to the shitty Northwest.
It doesn't matter. The point of contention is they had to fly across the country. Seattle had to do the same thing.
Yeah, Miami's in a place they've never been. Most of the players have probably never been here.
Miami had a day off to travel to Seattle and sit in their hotel rooms, enjoy a couple Seattle dogs with the onions and the cream cheese, enjoying life, getting used to it. Seattle had to play Boston yesterday and then fly across the country without rest and play Miami today. They're not going to have Munoz. They're not going to have Spears, their top two bullpens arms. We all know that Seattle's offense absolutely falls off of a cliff when they come home to Seattle. So all those runs that they've been scoring in Toronto and Boston and Cincinnati, they look all fun and great. They're the number one offense on the road in baseball, but they are middle of the pack, if not worse, at home. I'm not trying to make a case that Cal Quantrill was great. My point is that I don't think in this spot, I don't think that the Mariners should be a minus 300 favorite at all, especially when they don't have their top bullpen arms available, or at least that they've worked back-to-back days. So, yes, Miami money line for me.
I didn't realize the Mariners bullpen was taxed. That makes things interesting.
Again, it's more of a play on the number than anything. Does Cal Quantrill suck? Yes.
But Seattle never scores at home.
I get that. And to be honest, Cal Quantrill's had 2 blow-ups and 2 decent starts. And the blow-ups was the Mets and then on the road at the Phillies, where shit just happens in the bank. It happens. But besides, I mean, the Washington start was good. The Atlanta start was good. Again, he sucks. but this Mariners offense isn't good in Seattle, especially coming from a cross-country road trip where they went to Cincinnati, then to Toronto, then Boston, then all the way back across. Like, this spot is really bad for Seattle.
I will say the bet makes sense. Seattle never scores runs at home. Their bullpen's taxed.
If you wanted to play plus 1.5 at plus 110, I don't hate that either.
I was just going to say that. Marlins plus 1.5.
This price is crazy. This price is absolutely crazy.
I'd probably go here. Under 7.5.
That was another reason that I liked Miami. It's because they're thinking that not a lot of runs.
7.5 is not a crazy total for a game in Seattle,
right?
And if the reason normally we've seen a lot of 6.5, 7s in Seattle. Yep. 7.5 is like a pretty average total for a home game for the Mariners, and we're seeing a 7.5 with Logan Gilbert because the idea is Cal Quantrill's just going to get shelled and he sucks. But Seattle never scores at home. They just never. I'll go under a pass. I don't think I'm going to bet it, but I laughed at your Marlins pick, and then after listening to what you said and looking at it, it makes sense.
And for what it's worth, Cal pitched against this Mariners team last year, not right now, and he went 6 innings and didn't give up any runs, and he had 5 walks in that game. So he was reckless, and Seattle still couldn't score against him. So
what did you did you actually bet that, or you just say Marlins or pass?
No, I'm going to bet that. It's going to be on my card. I haven't sent it out. It continues to rise. So last time I was looking at it, they were plus 250. Now they're plus 260 on DK. So I'm just going to wait this out and see what I can get. Plus 260 is just ridiculous. Like that, Seattle isn't that good.
That is crazy. I mean, I wish you luck if you win that one. That'd be sick. Next up is Tampa on the road in San Diego. Now Tampa just got out of a couple battles against the Snakes. Were both games extra innings?
I think
last night's was
yes.
And
11 innings.
I was sweating out both those games. One of those I had at Arizona and lost, and the second one I had over 7.5.
I know,
and it was 4-3 in the top of the ninth. Like, shout out the Rays, they came through. So not only did the Rays and the Snakes play back-to-back nail-biters that came down to the end, but I was actually watching and sweating both of them. So, yeah, coming off of that environment, the 2 last-minute games, you would think that swings the market towards San Diego a little bit.
It has.
San Diego's coming home from a road trip, though, and they can't hit right now.
Yeah, you can put the Rays up for me.
Really?
So what I'm about to say is all essentially conjecture. It doesn't really mean that much. It's just my true feelings. But if you look on VSiN and all those other websites, it's like 90% of the bets and money on San Diego. And it makes sense. Like, Michael King is very, very good. The San Diego has a rested bullpen behind him. It's going to be really hard for the Rays to score runs. There's no question about that. But like Kyle said, they are coming home from a road trip. Also, by the way, everybody knows that San Diego is 12-1 at home this year. So, I mean, very, very good home team. On top of all of that, before I even get to Shane Baz, Tampa Bay and their bullpen obviously says, like Kyle talked about, they've played extra inning games. So Fairbanks and Uceta or however you say his last name, both those guys back to back. So they're probably not available. Maybe they use one of them if they feel like they need to. They did have the previous 3 days off, but again, there's just a lot of advantages for the Padres in this game. I will say that I do think that Shane Baz pitches well. He's had a few starts this year: Pittsburgh, Angels, Boston, and New York. New York got to him. It is what it is. But prior to that, I mean, he had 11 strikeouts against Boston. He had 10 strikeouts against Pittsburgh. He had 6 strikeouts against the Angels, except he walked 4 guys, but that was still over 7 innings. My point to all that is that that gives me a lot of confidence for him to pitch well and have the strikeout stuff here today, because again, like Kyle just mentioned, this Padres offense is like a AAA team right now. After you get past Tatis and Machado, I mean, maybe Xander's playing a little bit better, but that's a AAA team from 4 down. I mean, so I have a hard time believing that Shane Baz is going to struggle here today unless you just get absolutely slaughtered by the top half of the San Diego lineup. So San Diego's been taking money all day long. Everybody's betting San Diego. Everybody's putting San Diego in a parlay, and that line is not moving past 140, 142 at all. It's just gives me the heebie-jeebies as a Padres fan and as a gambler. Put Tampa Bay up. I did not bet this, but there's no chance in hell I bet the Padres, knowing everything that I know right now.
here's the problem. San Diego's not hitting, and Shane Baz is going to deal. And San Diego's bullpen is elite, and they're completely rested. The Rays' bullpen is dicked. So I get why you would say the Rays here. I mean, I think this is going to be one of those games where score 0-0 after 5. Problem is the total 7. So if you want to play a first 5 under, you're looking at like a 3.5. So that's where I would go. First 5 under 3.5.
And also, Michael King hasn't given up a run in his last two home starts. Like, that dam's gonna break. It almost just seems too easy for San Diego. And I you guys know I'm like the ultimate homer. So if I could do it, I would do it. But it just doesn't seem right.
Seems like you can get a plus 100. Oh, Lindy's back. So I'm putting first 5 under 3.5. You found that there was a cause?
We are back.
You're in right now. So Toast, it says razor pass. I can't bet Tampa coming off those back-to-back extra inning games. The bullpen's taxed. San Diego, okay, they're not hitting, but Michael King at home. San Diego's bullpen has been elite. I can't trust the Rays to score runs in this weird spot. So I think it's just going to be a low-scoring game. I would go first 5 under, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, that's pretty close to what I think as well. Shane Baz is awesome. Michael King is really good. I mean, I'm obsessed with both of these arms. 176 expected batting average for Baz, but the one thing he does do, barrel percentage, 12% so far this season. Been giving up a little bit too much there. Petco, surprisingly good for homers over the last 2 years, whether it's the flap in the outfield or whatever that root cause was, what they talked about once upon a time. It doesn't really show out in the data as much as what I was hoping this year, but Shane Baz is still homer prone at times, I think, coming forward. And you got Fernando Tatis on the other side. So it's basically Tatis homer or pass on the entire game. Haven't bet it yet.
Tatis homer or pass. All right.
Yep.
Let's move on to White Sox A's. I mean, what an ugly game. I declared the White Sox, the A's, the fake shark team of the year, but the White Sox are, wow. It's almost impressive how bad this team is.
Oh my God, Jason Tatum now questionable. He's going to play tonight. This is absolute buffoonery.
Wait.
Oh, the NBA? Weird.
Yeah.
During the playoffs? They're doing this during the playoffs?
I can't.
What did you bet in that?
A lot of things. Peyton Pritchard heavily.
Oh man,
that is so absolutely fucked.
Well, I mean, maybe Jaylen Brown's still out, and you still get your usage.
Yeah. Hopefully, get Holiday out too, who's questionable.
Honestly, if you get 2 of those 3 out, I think you're still good. Watch they all play though.
I hope so. Unless they all play, in which case, just absolutely send me to the moon.
That's the only really NBA game I didn't bet. But anyway, Lindy, anything for
my internet doesn't want me to be on this planet either, so it's fine.
It looks good right now, but I said that before. All right. White Sox on
Famous
the road
last word.
In Sacramento. Do you have anything for this one?
No, I don't. I will say there's a lot of potential homer plays here. I need to see the lineup, but Matt Tice is very interesting going up against Luis Severino. There were some big numbers on Matt Tice earlier. Let me refresh my stuff because, again, everything's not awesome. Everything's not cool when you're part of the team. We are definitely on the struggle bus here. But Matt Tice, 17.7 degree launch angle, which was just popping for me. Somebody who generally is drawing a lot of walks this year as well. I mean, you're basically just looking at a longer price in a ballpark that's been conducive for it against Luis Severino against lefties. Like, not striking out anybody. And if he's not going to strike out Matt Tice here, if he ends up in that lineup, that's at least a very, very appealing guy to be getting up. Where did it go? I got to get the number for you because that's the most important part of this entire
I couldn't
equation.
find it. I made the graphic for you, but I couldn't find the number, so I just made a graphic without the number.
So I had a potential number that we were looking at for it, and maybe he's just not projected in the lineup, so we're gonna have to wait for it. But anything better than plus 525, I would be betting like instantly. And he was like plus 650 historical pricing on the over
No.
his last like 10 days. So rare in the lineup. He only has 30 batted ball events this season, but I expect him to be the catcher today. So there you go.
Toast, any thoughts on this one?
I played the over. I think both these starting pitchers could get rocked. I know that Sevy's looked really good, but coming off of a 8-inning performance where he gave up run, and then the start against the Mets, I think sooner or later, like I've said it a couple times today, that dam's going to break. And then that White Sox offense, or the pitching staff, is just an abomination. So, yeah, I played the over.
Let's move on. We got 2 games left. Toast, you want to do your underdog now?
Yeah, we're good.
Ooh.
Toast has an underdog Pickem, so it's on the screen. Go ahead and fire away.
Much to Lindy's dismay, I took a lefty versus Kodai Senga at the top of the lineup with CJ Abrams over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I just think that a lot of runs are going to be scored in that game, and we're going to have a leadoff hitter with speed at the top of that lineup, like I said, with the Nats. So I took that. Lindy talked about Vladimir Guerrero today already. I really think he has a really good shot of going yard. I did play his total bases just to be safe. And then as far as Yordan Alvarez is concerned, starting to heat up a little bit, hits in 4 of his last 5 games, 4 of 8 off of Lugo, and Lugo really struggles versus lefty bats, over a 5x FIP and like a 340 WOBA against lefties. So, those are the 3 plays today. 2-1 on underdogs since starting doing them.
Yeah, Toast has been hitting these underdogs surprisingly.
Let's go.
If you don't have an underdog fantasy, it's promo code BET, B-E-T. It gets you $1,000 deposit bonus. Just use the promo code BET. All right, Dodgers, Pirates. Actually, let's let Lindy go because I have a graphic here. I know he has a bet in this one. First 5 under, right, Lindy?
Yes, we're getting a little bit specific here. First 5 under 3.5. You generally see 4.5 in this market all the time, but guess what? It's Paul Skeens and Yoshi. Yoshi is absolutely out of control. I said it last year. I'll say it again. I think he's going to be a top 5 pitcher in baseball for years and years. He's the best pitcher from Japan, including Shohei Ohtani, that I've ever seen or looked at. He's completely unhittable with this curve and splitter. I mean, the splitter. Why does every Japanese pitcher coming over have the best splitter I've ever seen now? Like, other than the Orioles guy he's the absolute worst pitcher that I've ever broke down. But Yamamoto is unbelievable. And he's only going to get better, which is terrifying to say, but like he has that perfect 45-degree arm angle. He's got the perfect amount of velocity that complements perfectly with another breaking pitch, 95 to 79, keeps hitters way off balance. You watch that splitter sometimes, and it's like batters are so far ahead of it, and then it's going directly into the ground. Negative 19-degree launch angle. What is that? That's not a real number. That's not a real number against that pitch. So... And then it's Paul Skeens on the other side, which is obviously terrifying because of the matchup that he's in. He hasn't been as sharp to start off this season, and he's gone up against the Dodgers, but as good as the Dodgers are, a 111 WRC plus against righties isn't eye-popping. The top of the lineup is very, very strong, and obviously you had Freddie Freeman out for a little bit of that sample size that kind of nukes it, but you have a back half of this lineup that I think is pretty weak. Paul Skeens still a 237x WOBA, which is just dumb. I mean, the problem is that he set this insanely high bar that we expect him to clear. And now we're getting a first 5 number with 2 of the top 5 pitchers I believe in baseball at 3.5, even minus 110. I would be setting this at 3.5 plus 105 to the over here. So yeah, we're sitting really, really nice. What was that?
I accidentally minimized the window.
Oh, I love that. Okay. I'm done talking now.
That was just your screen, though. They didn't see anything interrupted.
Oh, that's nice.
So, I mean, I get it. It's the Pirates on the road of the Dodgers. So the Pirates have been hitting a little bit. And Skeens is always overpriced. And now we're getting Skeens at plus 180. I kind of just think you get one of the most talented, best starting pitchers in baseball at plus 180.
Don't hate.
YOLO, right?
Yeah, 180.
And honestly, this will be a fun one. It starts at 10. We'll probably all be watching it. Be cool to have a plus 180 ticket. I might bet this one, but just gambling, having fun, not necessarily because I think it's a great bet. What do you think?
I might get fucked up and tail you. That seems fun.
It would only be Pirates or pass. I do not hate the first 5 under for Lindy either. Probably not going to bet it just because I don't love Yamamoto like Lindy has illustrated at other times on this show, but I do like him. He's one of my favorite pitchers to watch. I think this is like, if you're in the LA area and you call yourself a baseball fan and you're not at this game, I probably don't respect you. But I will say that this Dodgers offense, this big Dodgers offense that's worth all these billions and billions of dollars, has kind of been on the struggle bus lately, and they're having a hard time getting off. I mean, Mookie Betts, a 94. Thank you. Shout out to Blake Harris for all this information, but 94 WRC plus for Mookie Betts since the 2nd of April, 65 WRC plus for Shohei Ohtani since the 4th of April, Max Muncy, a 54 WRC plus since the 27th of March, Michael Conforto, 47 WRC plus since the 6th of April. I could keep going down the list. It only gets worse, but to prove my point, this Dodgers offense hasn't been doing dick lately. So it's just really hard to really trust them, especially at this price. They're getting priced like this because Yamamoto is him. And I have a hard time believing that the Pirates get anything off of him. But again, you can put the Pirates up for me versus the price. If I have a decent day coming up to us, I might sprinkle a little bit on the Pirates. But I'm
looking at the Pirates schedule. They have this game, Skeen's next start, Thursday afternoon against the Cubs against Colin Rea. So if the Pirates somehow win this game and let's say Skeens throws 7 shutout and the Pirates win, the Pirates are going to be like minus 170 favorites against the Cubs. And that's when we take the Cubs. In the next one, we'll get the Cubs against the Pirates like plus 135 or something. So yeah, I might bet this one for fun, but I didn't bet it just now. Hold on. Last game. Rangers Giants in the swirling winds of San Francisco.
Swirls
is right. You got Justin Verlander as a short home favorite. Lindy, is that justified?
Yes and no. I mean, you're missing a huge bat. Corey Seager out. I mean, that's just this Texas lineup and the complexion of it. I have a tough time believing that Jock Peterson is this bad now. Like, Jock has just, I mean.
Did you see his one hit and how he almost got thrown out?
Yeah, and he's also, they were up like 4 or 5 runs and he's diving into second like just like an animal because, you know, I'm sure he was frustrated. I'm sure that
I think he tried to pimp it a little bit though too, and he was over 40 whatever coming into that. So
yeah, off the center field wall. I was watching that, but Jock Peterson, I'm such a Wyatt Langford stan. I will continue to be as well. He's
awesome.
Good.
He's so good.
I just don't know what to make of Nathan Eovaldi, and I love Nathan Eovaldi traditionally. He's just somebody who eats up a ton of innings. Fastball. That's really what you're getting with Nathan Eovaldi, and the split finger is basically kind of like an inversion of that. Curveball has been really good, but like throwing it more to lefties this time around. Last year it was pretty even to both sides. I really don't know what to make of this entire game. I leaned towards the first 5 under 3.5 here, but
really,
why is it sitting minus 135 relative to minus 110? It has everything to do with the ballpark, I'm assuming, but like, my God.
I think both pitchers are going to get hit up.
Well, it's just the data. I'm not trying to manipulate anything. I'm trying to explain what's going on in the spreadsheet. I don't really like it. I really don't like anything in this game, if I'm being honest, but, yeah, it should be fun because these are 2 pitchers that I really do want to try to target when they get into like a more hitter-friendly environment, like right away, because there's still going to be a little bit of a bias towards Eovaldi, a little bit of a bias towards Verlander by name recognition, but maybe I'm just kind of making assumptions there, but it just seems like some of the opening numbers for them have confused me, and if something looks weird to you or if the modeling looks weird, it's always better to just stay away, track it, see how it goes, and then attack it in a spot that you're a little bit more confident. I don't have a confidence in anything here.
Did you peep those bullpens?
Yeah,
I didn't look at the bullpens at all for this game.
Well, they're taxed to all hell. In between that,
I don't understand why it's still 7.5. It's not even like that's where I'm at. Like I don't mind the first 5 part of it.
No,
but
yeah, I mean that's the thing is I had the first 5, so whenever I'm looking at that, if something doesn't stand out for the full game, I don't go back and look at the bullpens usually. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I like the over, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Honest, if I'm being dead honest, the only reason I haven't bet the over is because I feel like such a casual with having 4 or 5 overs on my card. If I'm being dead honest with you, like I'm at a point.
Doesn't slow me down. I'm betting it.
So, but I again, we have both bullpens that aren't in good shape.
All
I
right,
mean, I mean, neither bullpen's in good shape. You have, it's only 50 degrees in San Francisco, but you do have the wind blowing out. I mean, so I just doesn't make sense to me. I'll get in with you guys.
I don't even like backing Eovaldi on the road. Number one, I'm down to fade Eovaldi on the road. The Giants, although they're falling off a little bit, they've been solid against right-handed pitching for most of this year. I think the Giants can score a couple of runs off Eovaldi. Verlander, I mean, how much can you really count out of him? I think the Giants could get 1 or 2 across on Verlander. Go to the bullpens. Bullpens are taxed. The wind's blowing out. Over.
I would say, and also Verlander's looked, the only time that he looked good was against the Angels, and that offense is absolutely falling off a cliff. So, I got
over 7.5 a plus 100. I don't care if it's
that's
sketchy.
Why I would.
I'm going to be tailing you guys on that. So
sketchy
I
low.
respect your opinion. I'm going to throw it in, and we will see what happens. I'm still just so mad at the Celtics. I think the Celtics need to just disappear into the midnight sun and never come out. I like my Wi-Fi.
No, it's good. Whatever you did fixed it this last time.
Good.
Speaking of Lindy, I'm sure most of these people know where to find your stuff, but for the few watching that don't, where can they find it?
Yeah, check out Odd Shopper YouTube channel, ODDSSHOPPER. Look at that, I can spell. We got Portfolio EV. We also have a great odds screen that I know that Kyle uses every single day. Why are the team totals still not updated? I need to just yell.
I feel naked without that page.
I need the page back. It's just absolutely egregious. And we've got a lot going on. Everybody's got a lot going on in their lives, but I've got this going for you. 2 free weeks. If you guys want to check out the Odd Shopper odd screen, if you want to check out all of the fixins over there, Lindy1, that's the promo code. I love hanging out with Kyle. I'm so sorry about my internet and the fact that my neighbors need to be shot into the sun as well. But that is neither here nor there. Don't steal my Wi-Fi. Good day, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bet responsibly tonight. Hit me up in the Discord if you need me. Think Meat Toast might be back at midnight. I'll hit up Trevor, see what he's doing. But whatever happens tonight, Meat Toast and John Legeza will be back at 11 a.m. for the Saturday morning show. So everyone, have a good one. Bet responsibly.